Hey, good morning, y'all. You know, I'm a Southerner, y'all. I want y'all to know that the Word will change your present circumstances. Now, we've had this happen a number of occasions where people have come to us and said, my wife has left me for another man, or my husband's left me for another woman. And we'd say, well, that's not the will of God. And we'd go to the Word, teach them the Word, have them to pray the Word, believe the Word. Their husband would come home or their wife would come home. Now, it took a lot of counseling, on forgiveness and things of that nature for them. But the point is, there's no situation that's too big for the Word not to change it. We've had this happen a number of times where people have been given a doctor's report that they have a disease that's incurable. In fact, this week we've got my mother-in-law. She's 96. Nanny, we call her. It's been 25 or 30 years ago. They told her that she had an incurable cancer, that, it was just limited as the time she could live. And I went down and talked to her. I wasn't the only one, obviously, but I said, Nanny, what do you want? She says, well, I want to live. And I said, well, we're going to pray that you live. The doctor said, not possible. She's here today because the Word and faith in the Word changed what was going on in her body. The doctors told me I'd never walk again. Obviously, that didn't come to pass because I changed what the doctor said by speaking the Word. I shared this on Wednesday night at the church. Jesus called for something that was not. There's a huge storm. The ship's full. They're in jeopardy, and the disciples are moved by what they see. Well, Jesus got out there and began to call for peace. Now, there wasn't any peace. It was a hurricane, a huge storm, and there's a lot of ships, and they're all in jeopardy, and they say, Lord, don't you care? Well, then what he did is he got up and rebuked the wind and called for something that was not as though it was. His words caused a great calm. So fever's running around in your body. You call for normal temperature. Pains in your body. You rebuke the pain, tell it to get out of your body. It doesn't have a right to stay in your body, and you call for healing. Well, you may be, you think beyond. In fact, I've seen some people that, they were just in the last stages, the throes of death, so to speak, but they began to say what God said, and they walked out of that deathbed. I'm talking 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and they're still going today because they would rather believe and say what the Word says than what their body was telling them and what the doctor's report was. I've done this so many times I can't remember. I've taken my bills, sometimes, stacked up that high, put them over there on a table and say, bills, I call you paid. Now, I didn't have any way to pay them. I didn't have an income, so to speak. I'm not a businessman that I can go out and earn money. But I said, I call you paid. And every time that I have done that, those bills got paid. We're talking 30 years. Now, I've been doing this for 30 years. So, don't come to me and say, well, I don't believe that stuff. It's too late. I'm walking in divine life. I'm walking in divine prosperity. I'm walking in divine health. My wife loves me. I love her. We're still chasing each other around, enjoying each other, going places because God put me on the increase. I'm not going to downsize just because I got a little older, because God says I shall be on the increase. Hey, I got to go. Saints, have a great day. But begin to call for something that is not and say what the Word says, and the Word will surely bring it to pass. Have a great day. Remember, Jesus is Lord. Thank God the Word works.